I won the lottery and I didn't know how to spend the money, and I lost everything. Hello, my name is Giovanna. I am 17 years old and my lifetime dream has always been to win the lottery. I was born in a humble family, and whenever I had money, my mother always incentivized me to give a shot and to buy a lottery ticket. I grew up trying to fulfill my mother's dream of winning the lottery. And when I started receiving my own salary, I started to play every week. My friends started to make fun of me and laugh at me, but I didn't care. I knew it. I knew that one day I would win, but it was already an addiction to play every week. I used to daydream about it. I wanted to have a huge house, expensive cars, to be so rich, to throw fancy parties for me, for my friends, and of course to have that dream boyfriend that every girl dreams about it. Because, when I tried to get a boyfriend, nobody was interested, and that made me very sad and upset. When I turned 15, I won a small award in the lottery because I hit 5 numbers. Despite earning a few bucks, it didn't last long. And as it was a very small amount of money, I spent it all. Time passed, and my expectation and addiction only increased. All I ever wanted is to win. Is it asking too much? And in this small addiction, I used to always play the same numbers. I was so confident that eventually they will be the winning numbers. One day, I was laying down in bed after a good nap, and suddenly my mother came into my room, all euphoric. She was screaming and jumping, saying that we had won. I jumped out of bed. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I asked her if she was sure about this information, because, to be honest, she once said that we won it and it was a mistake. I was so afraid that it would be the same thing this time. So I immediately took my cell phone and went to check the internet and to see if the numbers, my number, are the winning ones. I wanted to make sure of it. I wanted to see it with my own eyes. When I saw the results, I almost had a heart attack. The numbers were really mine. The 6 numbers that I always played were the winning ones. I won the lottery. I wanted to go out screaming in the streets, telling everyone what happened. But it was better not to do that. It was too dangerous. So I hugged my mother, I kissed her, and we celebrated a lot. She was so happy, and I was even happier, because all those years of trying over and over again finally got us a pleasing surprise. The best part was that I won $50 million. And here we started planning our future. First thing, we started looking at houses and fancy cars. I wanted to have the best of the best. Oh, we had so many dreams to realize with all this money, and now we know that they will come true. Well, I bought my house, 3 cars, and other luxuries that I always wanted. I left old friends behind to live the life that I always dreamt about. My new house had a swimming pool and a sauna. That was actually my mother's dream, but it was amazing. The cars were the most expensive of all, to make everyone envy us. And I couldn't choose which boy to date, which party and club to go to on each weekend. I had the life that I always wanted and always dreamt about. I used to throw several parties at my house with lots of drinks and wonderful DJs. I even made a home cinema, a giant screen. I didn't want to skip any detail of my dream. We traveled a lot too. I took my mother to Europe and we bought everything she wanted from luxury brands like Dior, Prada, Chanel, and she really enjoyed the trip. We took a lot of pictures at the most fancy places in the world. We only ate at fancy gourmet restaurants and visited the best museums too. I even took my nephews to Disneyland to meet Mickey. Even if it wasn't his dream, I was more excited than he was. And I started gabbing about my new life on social media, wearing all the best jewelry and luxury clothes. I took pictures showing my cars and my house and every single fancy detail of this luxurious life that I have. But there was still a desire to fulfill. I wanted to have a private show with my favorite singer. And even this one, I made it come true. It was 2 years wasting money like it would never end. But unfortunately, I was so wrong. When I found out, I had almost no money left in the bank and I had to start saving, and I started to wonder how I've spent so much money. I was desperate because when people know that I'm almost out of money, everyone will get away and leave me. The boys will no longer want to be with me either. What I most feared about happened. The bills didn't stop coming, and the rest of the money couldn't stop leaving my bank account. How could I be so irresponsible? And this is how I started selling my things. First, I had to sell my car to pay my credit card bills, then the other one to cover the household expenses that I didn't know that they were that many. I even had to sell all my watches and my jewelry to be able to buy food and to eat. I didn't want to accept that this was happening to me. And here I saw that I needed to get a job. I was going back to the little life that I despised so much. This started to drag me down in anger. We were so sad. My mother was walking all over the house, ups and downs, waiting for the day that we would have to leave it. All the friends that I thought I had were gone, and boys as well too. Nothing more was left but our house, because I had to sell the third car, the yacht, and everything that had a significant value. Since I had nothing else left, I had to sell the house too. We bought another one, a more affordable one, so we could have a bit more money to buy a popular car and pay the rest of the bills and our debts. My new reality made me sad, but it also made me think and act differently for the future. I realized that I would survive without all the money, parties, drinks, cars, and all the superficial things, and that all I really needed were friends, true friends and family, for me to help us get through it all. I needed to have people who would be by my side for who I am and not for how much money I have in my bank account. I wasted my money on those who didn't deserve it, and in a way or another, I wasted my time too, because now people pretend not to know me. I learned in the hardest way that I must value people who were already in my life instead of valuing money first, because they are all what I want now, and all I want is to share moments and my time with the precious people that I love. And of course, I learned that I need to think about the future and not just the present, and that I have to work and plan my life, invest my money, and spend it on the necessary needs.